Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Studios with the Weather Report, the North Georgia edition, exclusively for you Facebook subscribers and YouTube members here on your May the 29th, 2026. It also happens to be Free Sampler Friday, so we're giving this out to everybody on Facebook and YouTube. It's your opportunity to grow our weather family here and becoming a subscriber or member as we work toward building a professional 24-hour weather channel so you can get this exclusive content in your feeds. All right, let's go ahead and start off with a live look there across Helen, Brazelton, Blairsville, Donegan. We got some mix of clouds, sunshine out there. On this update, we're going to give you an update for your weekend, let you know how that's looking. It's looking like Saturday's looking a bit on the damp side as it's been tracking all week. And looks like we get a bit of a break starting Sunday and going next week. The humidity's going to come down. We got a couple of nice days ahead. Then we got to talk about next weekend. We could have some tropical enhanced rains. We're not talking about tropical storm or anything like that, but some tropical influence, we'll just say, that could augment our rain chances coming back up again as we go into next week. We had some great news on the drought. Drought update is looking much, much better out there, and it looks like we're going to continue a chance for opportunities to bring that down even more in the days ahead. So let's go ahead and start off with our tour. We'll take a look around at some of the places out there for this morning. Brasstown Bald, seeing the clouds out there, 55 degrees up there at 4,700 feet here for this morning. Not looking bad down toward Lake Lanier as well. Lake Lanier getting some clouds. So it's going to be kind of a partly sunny type of day this afternoon. The rain chance is really going to kind of come up heading in for tonight. And kind of going in for tomorrow, the way things are kind of looking out there for the moment. You see folks there in Blairsville still doing some high clouds up there around the square, but you got some sunshine too. Not looking too bad in that area. How about Athens, Georgia? Let's go check out Athens. Got some cloudy skies over the UGA campus here for this morning, and still got some clouds there in Helen, Georgia as well. Temperatures there in the upper 60s here for this morning. But not looking too bad there. And hey, how about we go check out Jekyll Island? Yeah, Jekyll Island's got cloudy conditions down on the coast there as well here for this morning. We get that camera going there for you there, and you can see that as well. So if you're going down to the beach, at least the wave action doesn't look too bad down there if you're heading on down to the coast for the weekend. How about Dalton? Let's check out Dalton. Also a lot of clouds up there as well to begin our morning. All right. Now, speaking of the tropics, I do want to point out a couple things since the hurricane season officially begins on June the 1st, which, of course, is coming up. That's going to be coming up on Sunday. So, we're in the lower part of this, as you can see for right now. That's going to be, but it does stay on the low side here. For the start of the season, but it doesn't really get cracking. And we're also expecting a below-average season because of El Nino, which is going to look like it's going to play a factor this year. So right now, as far as what we're expecting from the Hurricane Center, not expecting much activity here for the weekend. So we're next 7 days looking all quiet. All I want to tell you guys, folks, as we're going into hurricane season is keep it tuned here. There's going to be a lot of yahoos out there. They're going to post hurricanes and things out there, way in advance of anything. Just keep it tuned here. We'll keep you updated on when you need to be concerned about that kind of activity. So let's go bring it back here close to home. Let's go take a look at our current conditions here. Again, we got the stationary boundary here across North Georgia. What's going to happen? It looks like we're going to get some activity that's going to kind of come in from south to north and kind of work in this way here for later this afternoon and going in for tonight. And that's going to kind of linger into your Saturday as well. And then we got another little disturbance kind of riding in on Monday, it looks like, here as we go through the forecast. I'm going to show you all the forecast modeling on that here in just a second. Satellite picture, again, you kind of see the clouds out there for this morning, kind of hanging out there. Some thunderstorms back over to Missouri and Arkansas, but not looking bad right now. Things will get a little more active as we go in for tonight. And, of course, got a little moisture down there in the Gulf. We'll be watching that closely here as we go toward the end of next week. All right, let's go get into our forecast data. All right, let's go look at we're going to be looking at our short range model here first, as we always do, and kind of get an idea what we're expecting. So watch that little time stamp there as we kind of go into later this afternoon. So this is a little bit faster than what was showing yesterday. So most of the day should be okay, but if the higher rain chances is going to be down toward the south and west. You guys up there in northeast Georgia, it's going to come in later for you guys. So it'll be coming in here, after 6 o'clock. So we'll keep us isolated scatter storm threat and then kind of increasing going in forward tonight. All right, so that's going to be there, and then that's going to linger straight into your Saturday too. So again, that boundary is going to kind of be in there and keep us on the wet. There's some more storms there on your Saturday afternoon. Then this is kind of drying. Interesting is this model is kind of drying us out on Sunday. So I do have a scattered shower or storm threat in there on Sunday, but this model's not showing anything. Doesn't show anything until we get into Monday afternoon. We got a little disturbance back up here. That's kind of working its way down. That brings some chance of rain coming in across the area there on Monday. So we'll see if the model's consistency holds to the weekend or not. But looks like Saturday's a pretty wet day. Sunday doesn't look all that bad, and Monday we got some scattered storms to track with that little disturbance dropping on down. Once that moves on by, it looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday looking pretty good for next week for right now. All right, so let's go look at your rainfall totals. Again, some healthy rain totals. Again, you see these dark reds. You know you're getting over an inch of rain in these locations. So 1 to 2 inch rain totals in here. Northeast Georgia, not too bad. But again, this is good. Good widespread rain. Again, we'll continue to add to chipping away at that drought conditions that have been a problem for us here for a while. And temperatures today, they're going to stay, pretty much in the 70s and 80s here once again. Basically, what we have seen, although not quite as warm as yesterday. I think we'll have more cloud cover out there today. So it was pretty high. I don't know, at my house, it got like 90 here. It was pretty warm here in Brazelton yesterday. So not as warm. And then as we go into your Saturday morning, again, we'll start with a mix of 60s and 70s once again, like we have the last few mornings. And then going into your Saturday afternoon, once again, a mix of 70s and 80s, depending on activity and showers and thunderstorms forming at that time. All right, so let's go look at our jet stream here. As I got this kind of in motion for you right now. As again, a huge omega block, big old dip, right, and then through there. So again, we call it omega block because it looks like the Greek symbol omega. So it's that means it's going to be very hot up in the plains and into Canada. So here's our subtropical down here, which is staying pretty active, and that will stay the active. It typically does in an El Nino year. And so we're going to stay, we got this big trough coming. We got one front that's going to come down on Sunday. So we got one backdoor front that's going to come down this way. And then we're going to have another one coming in toward next week. So we got another one that's going to come down here. This is the other dive right there. Here's that one. So that'll come down on Tuesday. So that'll bring us down. You got some nice, again, the humidity level's going to drop off. It's going to feel nice for a couple days. And then as we go in toward Thursday and Friday, we'll have to watch and see what happens down here along the Gulf Coast. So we'll have to see if anything kind of comes up here with some moisture. There's something trying to sneak up in there. And if that comes on in with the subtropical jet stream in here as well, that could enhance our rains going into that weekend. So we got to watch that closely here. And then still looks like this troughiness and weakness here in the east. And again, we look at the sea surface temperature anomalies here to kind of get an idea of what's going to be happening. When you see that blue, we know we got lower pressure there. Obviously, Saturday we've got that. And then as we go toward Wednesday, we get a little bit of a break. Look at that. We got a nice little high pressure here building in toward the middle of the week. But that's temporary. It's going to go away because look what happens here as you see that weakness coming in here off the Gulf. See it right down there? There it is, the weakness coming off the Gulf, and then that comes in across the south, and then it gets replaced the following week, Wednesday. You've got a huge weakness here in the east, so that means rain threat's going to stay there, and that kind of lingers there, folks. So again, not looking at any big heat waves developing in the middle of the country. Still looks like we're going to stay either normal or below normal with our temperatures here as we go in toward the middle of the month, okay? Now, another thing we're going to watch this weekend is going to be the dew points. That's the matter of moisture in the air. It's been up, well into the 60s and 70s here for a while. So we're going to get a little bit of a break. Check out what happens here as we go in toward your Sunday. Sunday's going to be kind of our initial kind of cool down drop off here as we'll see that. Look at it, 55. You see that dew point here really kind of dropping off a little bit here across the 60, 59. Yeah, I get a little bit of a drop off in the dew points there, and they really drop off going in toward Tuesday and Wednesday. So we got the moisture there, and then we get a real push down. There we go. Going down into your Wednesday here. Look at that, 50, 56, 56, 55, 56. So dew points that are sitting in the 70s, especially down toward Atlanta, are going to drop into the 50s. So that's going to feel pretty comfortable there going into your Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, we can bet on the cooler side. Daytime highs will be nice, but don't get used to it. It's going to go away. We're going to see that humidity come right back up. Dew point's going to come right back up. And you'll see this. For example, you see the 70s back in there, 68, 70, upper 60s. Maybe not quite as bad, but it does come right back up here going to Wednesday. Look at us, back in the juice again as we go. And next we've got a couple days to look forward to, and then we got to look forward to that. So let's look at the trop. Let's go look at the European here. I want to show the fact that we're going to stay unsettled for the weekend. We just showed you that. So Saturday's looking unsettled in here. and that clears on out. And then this model still showing some showers and stuff on Sunday, so we'll keep a low chance in there on Sunday. I know the short range model is not showing anything there, and then we got that disturbance. So we got a track that's going to come in here on Monday that drops down in here. Here comes that one on Monday, drops in. This one's a little bit further to the west, but unsettled on Monday. And then I'm going to go ahead and clear us out on Tuesday. I'm going to keep us clear. And Wednesday looking good. And then we got to turn our attention. Watch what happens down here along Louisiana coast. Watch this going into Wednesday and Thursday. Something coming up into Louisiana, and look what happens to this thing. Goes right through Mississippi, Alabama, makes a right turn, comes right into Georgia, going into the following weekend. So this will be tropical enhanced rains. And when it comes to that kind of rains, guys, typically the models underestimate a little bit. So just so you be aware of that. So this kind of lingers around, pulls on off. And then it looks like we stay, again, we're looking at, we're going to get a very moist air mass in its wake. Looks like daily showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast once that goes by. So look at the rainfall. Here's our initial rains here for the weekend, all right? So not overly high for the weekend, not bad. It looks like we'll see some localized areas here, over an inch or so. We got the little disturbance coming on Monday, so inch and a half, not bad. But look what happens when I get forward into that following weekend, when whatever the heck that tropical system comes on in here. Let's go by Monday. Watch this. It just kicks up. Boom. it kicks 3, 4 inches. I think this is a little underdone. If it's again, tropical rains typically are underestimated on these things. But look at this heavy rain path here coming up here with this tropical, and makes a right turn. So I think these will be up. You can add like 25%, I think, to these, like another inch or so to these. So this might be a little underdone, but this is good. This was definitely again, another punch to the drought, and keeps it, and keep it there. And then, continues this wet pattern all across the southeast here for the next 2 weeks. That's good to see. That kind of coverage, good rain. That's going to continue to beat back the drought and put that thing to bed for us. That's some good news there. The other part of the equation, again, with the increased rain and clouds and everything else going on, we're going to see a lot more like blues and greens on this. This is your temperature anomaly map. That's going to stay in place here. For the most part, we got look at us here on Sunday afternoon, 14 degrees below normal here on Sunday. Wow, look at this. That's significant. So you're talking about lower 70s here, a lot of North Georgia way. That's the way if the European model is to verify out, that's looking very cool here. And then we stay that way for the most part. And not really seeing a whole lot of oranges in here. I mean, this is going in toward Wednesday night. Look at all this. That one cool down coming our way. And pretty much holds. I mean, not seeing any oranges or reds here. Of course, there's a lot. This is rain induced here on Friday with that tropical system keeping us down a little bit there. Look at that on Saturday. You think it's going to be wet and rainy? Yeah, that's pretty low there. So, and it pretty much holds steady. I mean, we start to get a little bit here on Tuesday, a little bit of either near normal here toward the 9th. But even then, there's Thursday still below normal there, and you see the trend. Overall, it's still looking either normal or below normal here on the temperatures for the next couple of weeks. So as we look at the next 7 days highs, look at this for Sunday morning, 59 up there in Blairsville, 62, 60. That's that initial drop in the humidity coming in here on Sunday. That's going to feel pretty good. And look at the Sunday afternoon temperatures here. I mean, it's the Europeans really aggressive here, keeping it in the 60s for a lot of North Georgia, 70s down here to the south on Sunday. So I'm not quite going that cool, but that's something I'm going to watch closely here. And then going into your Monday morning, again, lower to mid 60s. That's going to feel very nice. That's not bad at all. And then for your Monday afternoon, 70s, 80s. Again, pretty much what we've been seeing here for the last few days. Here's your Tuesday morning, 60s in here once again, looking very nice. Tuesday afternoon, 70s to right around 80 degrees. So very, very nice weather here for next week. We'll take this for June. Absolutely will. Look at this, 56, 59, 59, 60. Kind of a coolish morning there on your Wednesday. And Wednesday afternoon, we'll be sitting here once again, mostly in the 70s. So looking very nice here for Wednesday. Let's go look at Thursday. Starts to warm up a little bit. Back into upper 70s here. And then going into next week, obviously we start bringing the humidity back. The temperatures start coming up at night, and looks like a lot of wet weather there on Friday. If that tropical feature does come up, clouds and rain coming in toward the end of the work week. So let's wrap up your climate outlook here. Again, below normal temperatures obviously showing up there on the short range there going in for the next 6 to 10 days there. This again will cover your period here from the 3rd through the 7th, and going out beyond that. It's keeping this, it's got us a little bit here of maybe a little bit above normal here across extreme North Georgia. I pretty much think we're either pretty normal for the most part here for the next 2 weeks as current projections are. And there's above normal precipitation. We'll definitely take that. That stays there and holds true right through the 5th to the 11th. So that's some good news there on the drought front. We get to beat that thing back even more. So some good news on that area. Now, again, I appreciate you guys checking us out here for your update. Again, if you are new and this is your kind of your first weather report here, again, I'd really love to invite you to come on board. It's pretty cheap, but it's $1.99 there on YouTube and on Facebook here to become a subscriber or member. YouTube, you can even contribute more if you'd like to. There's two different levels over there. You can only have one over on Facebook. So if you guys want to come on board, become a Facebook member or a Facebook subscriber or a YouTube member, please come on board and join us here. And again, we got to give it to you straight here. We don't like to play the hype game here. And our motto here is real simple: to keep you prepared and not scared. All right, that is y'all's update. You guys have a great and safe weekend. Look for my afternoon forecast updates a little bit later today, and we will see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.